Hello guys, hi, I'm Kay. So I want to show you how we interpret our results to determine a patient's group. So we call it an ABO group. We determine whether the patient is group A, B, AB, or group O. So these are the cassettes that we use for our testing. So I've already added all my reagents and the patient sample, and I have spinned. So these are the results that we're going to interpret. So if you see here, this side we call it a forward, and then after the control we call this side a reverse. So the forward should correspond with the reverse in order for us to know the patient's group. So okay, let's interpret the results now. So if you see a line there at the top, those results are positive. And then if there's nothing at the top, it's just those small dots there at the bottom, then those results are negative. So if you look here at A, it's negative, meaning that the patient does not have A antigens on their red cell surface. You look there at B, the results are negative. The patient does not have B antigens on their red cell surface. So from these, we can confirm that the patient is not an A and also not a B. And then this D, it's part of the RESA system. It determines whether a patient is Rh positive or Rh negative. So you see there's a line there at the top. So the D is positive, meaning that the patient have D antigens on their red cell surface, meaning that the patient is Rh positive. And the control, so this is the control. Our control results, I'd say they are predictable, or let me rather say they are always the same. Like we always know what the control results should be. That's why we call it a control. So a control should always be negative. Once it's positive, then there's something wrong. You need to do further testing to determine where you went wrong or restart your testing. So if you see in this case, the control is negative, and that we know, meaning that we're on the right track. And then on the reverse side, we have A1 cells and B cells. Here, it's more like we're determining whether the patient have A1 antibodies or B antibodies in their plasma. So you'd see we have lines there at the top. The sample was likely hemolyzed, but we could still perform the testing, meaning that the patient have these antibodies but do not have their corresponding antigen. So the law we used when it comes to ABO blood group system is that if you do not have these antigens, then you'll have the corresponding antibodies. And in this case, you'll see the patient does not have A or B antigens, but they do have A and B antibodies in their plasma. So we can confirm without any doubt that this patient is O positive. This is O positive. So from here, then following step would be to find an O positive unit for the patient, cross-match it against the patient's sample, and determine whether it's compatible or not. If it's compatible, then we can issue. If it's compatible, then we can issue the blood to the patient. Thank you for your time.